Welcome again to the Melling Law YouTube channel, where we talk about different estate planning topics. Today we're talking about people in Utah who might need to get their estate plans updated. Specifically today, those who might have will-based estate plans and when you might need to upgrade to a trust-based estate plan. Oftentimes when we're doing a will-based estate plan as estate planning attorneys, it's because the client fits a specific asset profile where we're not worried about probate, or if we are, it's a very slim chance because of age or health or whatever that may be. You might also have a will-based estate plan if you used an online service, or maybe someone who doesn't specialize in estate planning. So the thing to watch out for if you have a will-based estate plan, so this is a last will and testament. You might also have a power of attorney and a healthcare directive, and that's fine. But if you have a last will and testament and you do not have a trust, there are a few things that might happen in your life that might want you to consider more seriously converting to a trust-based estate plan. Specifically with probate, that's the big one, is what happens if you pass away and you have certain types of assets that might have to force the estate into probate. So what are those kinds of assets? The first is any bank account that is worth more than $75,000. And there's a little bit of wiggle room in there with consumer price index and other things, but just as a rule of thumb, $75,000. If you have any one financial account that is worth more than that, you really should start looking into a trust. The second is real estate. If you have any real estate in Utah, it is going to have to go to probate unless it is held in a trust or a business entity or jointly with somebody else. And in other videos, we've talked about the dangers of holding title to a property in jointly with anybody other than your spouse. So if you and your spouse are both healthy and you're young, then a trust might not necessarily you might not necessarily need a trust solely because of your real estate. However, most people, as they get older, if there are health care issues or if there are other considerations and you have real estate, then that kind of tips the scales in favor more of a trust-based plan, just to avoid that probate aspect of real estate. And then the other asset that would be affected by that is vehicles, or anything that's registered through the Department of Motor Vehicles, like a boat or an RV or a trailer. If you have more than 4 in your name, then we'd have to go to probate to be able to sell those if something were to happen to you. So instead, if you have a trust and you put those vehicles into that trust, then you're okay if you exceed 4 in your name. Another one that really can be affected by, there are 2 other things that might make you want to switch to a more trust-based plan. The one is disability. So if you're disabled, you are not going to be able to necessarily, I guess, operate your business or your financial affairs. You might want to consider a trust over a will-based plan, especially when it comes to the possibility of selling real estate. It's a lot easier to do that through a trust than it is through a power of attorney. And then the one other is running a business. If you have a business that's a closely held business, there are business decisions being made by you, you really might want to consider a trust-based plan to allow your trust to manage your business affairs rather than forcing it through the delay of the court system. The probate process, even if everything is perfectly smooth, you're looking at a 4-month process. Whereas with a trust, within a week or 2 after death or incapacity, your trustee could sell your business to somebody else, so you're not having that delay and having your business lose value. So to sum up, if you have bank accounts worth more than $75,000, if you have real estate, if you have more than 4 vehicles or other types of automobiles registered through the Department of Motor Vehicles, or if you have a business or want to plan for disability, then you might want to seriously consider getting a trust-based plan if you already have a will-based plan. Thanks for watching. You can ask us anytime if you have questions about how your existing estate plan is going to apply to your circumstances at the time.